Oh my goodness. It was a wonderful, ooh, the service was wonderful. What I love about going to a mixed church that's more non-denominational than anything else is the teaching that you get. For years, all I ever heard on Good Friday was the last words of Christ, done in different ways, different forms. Tonight was a blessing. I learned about the cups at Passover. There are 4 cups of wine at Passover, and they symbolize something. And what's so wonderful is that the wine is red. It's red wine. And red wine is to represent the blood that was poured out for us. Oh my goodness. The 4 cups of Passover, 4 cups of wine. You have the first cup, which is the cup of rejoicing, rescue from slavery, towards the promise of freedom. Because without God, you are enslaved. You are enslaved to your sin. You are enslaved to your fears. That's why you run and get guns, knives. That's why you blow things up. That's why you whip on women. That's why you take advantage of children. There's a list of things that go along with being enslaved to who you think you should be. The keeping up with the Joneses. I never partake in any of that, thank God. I was the Joneses, okay? I still am. Quiet as kept. And it's hilarious because I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. I just get what I need when I need it. And keywords is that. It's just me. I don't have to worry about nobody else. So, and as God uses me as a vessel, I do give. I am very generous. I am very loyal. I am very dependable. And because of that, people honestly think they can take advantage, or they could use me, or there's some hidden strings attached to me. There is none. I didn't create you, and therefore I will not do anything. There is nothing that I can do to hurt you. Okay? There really is nothing. Anything that you perceive that I have done is once again enslavement to your own imagination and fears and what has come before me. The second cup is the cup of bitterness, of bitter remembrance, of being unforgiven. And it also is the promise of deliverance. The promise of deliverance. The first cup was the promise to freedom and being rescued from slavery. The second cup is the promise to deliverance, and it's the bitter remembrance of what was versus what is to come. The third cup was at the Last Supper with Christ and his disciples, and it is the cup of blessing and the promise of redemption, because his death paid it all for us. Oh my goodness, how wonderful is that? The fourth cup is the cup of freedom. God's promise of security, safety, love, and protection, which means you are no longer enslaved to your fear. We sang a song tonight that depicted that you are no longer, you have no reason to fear. You have no reason to walk around with a gun. You have no reason to whoop on somebody. You have no reason to put somebody down. You have no reason to dismiss somebody based on your own judgment. There's, oh my goodness, there's recognition and discernment for the hot stove that you know you do not need to touch. That's different from judging somebody based on their skin color, based on their religion, based on who they think they are, because they do not know who they are, because they do not find out who created them. That's on them. And that is not our place. Our place is to just to love them. Okay? You can't confess somebody else's sin without first confessing your own. Think about that the next time you want to judge somebody. Okay? I stay away from a whole lot of people because I have discerned that they are dangerous to me. Key. Okay? And then an H cup was poured out because his blood paid it all. But then there is one more cup that does not happen at Passover because they are still in the Old Testament. Key word. In the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, there is only 4 cups. But in the New Testament, there is a 5th cup. The 5th cup is God's wrath poured out upon the sinners. God's wrath, God's judgment poured out. The rapture when it comes. And because you are a Christian, because you have accepted Christ as your Savior, guess what? You avoid that 5th cup. Yay! How cool is that? I've avoided the 5th cup. You avoid the 5th cup. But it does not mean that you're not still enslaved. Immature Christians need legalism. Sorry. But it's true. Immature Christians, immaturity, period, requires you allow yourself to be in a religion that gives you rules and regulations on life in general. Guess what? The law was broken before Moses had a chance to give them out. The law was broken when Eve bit that apple and Adam did not cover her and instead partake with her. The law was broken at the very beginning of time. Okay? The law was broken when they brought the fresh commandments back down. After they were wrote again, the law was still broken. All the rules, regulations, and laws of this world from every religion, you will never, ever be able to keep. They will always be broken. That's the reason for Christ, because he covered that. Ooh, Good Friday. Wonderful Friday. This was the best one for me yet. So beyond the 7 words, there are the 4 cups plus a 5th. I can't wait to learn some more. This is what going to church is for. To learn. If you don't learn anything at the church you're at, you're in the wrong church. Just saying. If you have to change churches like you changing underwear, the problem is you. Just saying. Tune your antenna to the one who created you so that he can love you the way you're supposed to be loved. And he can show you the right way to go. Whew. Happy Easter, everybody. Ah! 4 cups. 4 cups. Red wine. Every last one. Representing the blood. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah, Jesus. Have a good night and a good Easter. This is Easter 2019.